Good morning, everyone. This is a quick overview of the paper you will be writing this week, which is the rhetorical analysis of three texts. Now, the texts that you're going to be looking at are the three that you've read in the past week and a half. So March, the graphic novel, dealing with visual elements in addition to text, The Learning to Read by Malcolm X, and Learning to Read and Write by Frederick Douglass. So here are the goals of this paper. To increase your skills in rhetorical analysis of both written and visual texts, to see connections between relevant written and visual texts, to think critically about how different speakers deal with similar subject matters, depending on purpose and audience, to develop critical thinking skills, to write an effective rhetorical analysis paper based on three different texts. So the requirements. You're going to review your notes and annotations. Now, we are going to have virtual class Tuesday this week from 1:25 to 2:30 so that we can go over these texts. Your space cats, which we'll talk about in a second, will be due after that. You've read the three texts that express multiple viewpoints on common issues. Perform an in-depth rhetorical analysis of each text. Be sure to complete a space cat chart for each one. And those assignments are in Google Classroom. Then you're going to respond to this prompt. For this paper, you will write an essay in which you discuss how each speaker uses rhetoric to address their common issue. Be sure to discuss what is effective or ineffective in each piece, as well as the impact the different rhetorical situations had on the piece's handling of the issue. Use appropriate MLA documentation, so parenthetical citations, and a works cited page. The scoring rubric. Now, I'm going to give you a score based on the AP, but then your score for the paper, as it will go in the grade book, will be thus. So your ideas and your thesis, that's worth 40 points. So that's the introduction, contains a clear thesis that answers your prompt. And remember, you're going to be wanting to look at an open thesis here, okay? You get too specific, and it's going to close you off. The essay clearly addresses the rhetorical situation of each text, as well as how they compare with each other. There's key, okay? Organization. It's organized logically and coherently. Appropriate transitions are used. It's worth 10 points. Supports for ideas. It's relevant and clearly emphasizes main ideas. It's 30 points. The focus is on the analysis, not on merely summarizing the sources being used. Okay, then the textual evidence is 20 points. So both quotes and paraphrases are used when possible throughout the paper. Visual text is included and discussed in support of the writer's ideas. Evidence used supports the writer's ideas, and the sources are not the focus of the paper. They're used to aid the analysis being made by the writer. Okay, so you're not basically summarizing the texts, you're analyzing them. Okay. The citation of sources, that's worth 10 points. All three sources are cited. Sources are cited in parenthetical citations and on the works cited page. If you've forgotten, parenthetical citations means in-text citations, okay? The formatting, worth 10 points. The paper is written in MLA format, write-out info, page numbers, font, etc. There is an assignment in Classroom on this. It includes a creative title. Yes, you need to be creative. You can't just call this rhetorical analysis of three texts. Blah, that's boring, okay? Give me a title that tells me something about what you're arguing, okay? The parenthetical citations are used correctly, are in the correct format, in the correct place, the period goes after them, all of those things. And the paper has a properly formatted works cited page, including hanging indents. Then the conventions, that's worth 20 points. So, paper has few to no errors in grammar, punctuation, spelling, etc. There are few to no sentence fragments and or run-on sentences. Okay, so altogether, that's 100 points. So this is a pretty big assignment. Make sure you come to class on Tuesday, and we will run through any questions you might have. So I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving and are ready to dig back in.